Well, our next guest went from being a top producer at the crime show America's Most Wanted to being a stay-at-home dad. Phil Lerman is the author of the new book, Dadditude, and more importantly, Brian, he was my boss for 5 years.
And he got you in line, so I didn't have to. She was already trained. Phil Lerman, welcome, and congratulations on the book.
Thanks so much.
What does it take to be a good dad? What did you discover?
You know, one of the hardest things I think for dads today is because work has so much access to you through your cell phone, through your IMs, through your BlackBerry, is to come home and to turn off, basically, is to just tune out of the world and tune into your kid, to get down on the rug and pick up a car and make the little car noise and just focus out of the world and focus in on your child. That, for me, coming home was the hardest thing.
But Phil, I'm just curious, how did years of working at a crime show and chasing fugitives prepare you for life at home with a little boy?
The little boys can run pretty fast, but you know, when you're in the workplace, especially as a manager, you get used to the idea of people working together, of people doing what you tell them to do. Not you, Alisyn, personally, but I mean the other people. Yeah. But what happens when you come home is you bring that sense of order and that sense of control home with you, and that belief that you can control the way people behave. And a 3-year-old kind of takes that belief and shoves macaroni and cheese up its nose.
Right. So
you kind of have to learn to absorb the chaos a little more.
Yeah, they're not impressed with Daddy's position or his business card. They just want to play with you. Now, I want to talk about how you said older fathers can teach young dads. What could they do with that?
I'll tell you one thing about, say, I was pushing 50 when my son was born, and so I think there are some things that that older fathers can teach younger fathers. And one of the most important is we've either been through this before, I have a 17-year-old stepdaughter, or our friends have. You know, our friends are looking for colleges while we're looking for kindergartens. And one of the things you learn is this goes really, really fast. And before you know it, a car horn is going to honk and that kid is going to be out the door for the weekend. And so one of the things I think that older dads bring to the table is we appreciate it a little bit more. We focus on it a little bit more. We focus on every day a little bit more because we know that there's not, this could end at any time. So you got to focus. You got to focus on what you have in front of you, which is sort of how The Sopranos ended also, funnily enough. Who knew The Sopranos were teaching us how to be good dads?
Please don't bring that up again. It's a sad...
It's a sore subject between Brian and me. Now, Phil, I have a copy of the book here, and I noticed, oddly enough, that you didn't mention me in the acknowledgments or thank me for perhaps training you to deal with infantile behavior.
Alisyn was an amazing person at America's Most Wanted. Anytime she would be on a case, the fugitives would turn themselves in before we got the stories there. They were so afraid of Alisyn.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, Phil, it's great to see you, albeit by satellite. The book is hilarious. It's really funny. It's called Dadditude. And thanks so much for joining us right before Father's Day.
What a great Father's Day gift. Go get it, even if Phil doesn't sign it. Happy Father's Day to you and everyone watching.
Thanks a lot.
He doesn't look 50.
Thanks, Phil. He doesn't act it either, Brian.
Good.
All right, coming up, a possible break in the case of